This is the story from the year 1812, when a Swiss adventurer, Johann Ludwig, was traveling through the Arabian desert in disguise. While wandering, he lost his way and found himself between two narrow cliffs. After walking about 1.5 kilometers between the cliffs, the path finally opened up. In front of him stood a grand structure carved into a limestone mountain, located in southern Jordan. This ancient structure was in the middle of a desolate desert valley. Who built it and why was it made here? This structure, standing 127 feet tall, wasn't built using bricks or stones. It was carved directly from the mountain rock. Today, it is known in Arabic as Al-Khazna, which means the treasury, a place where treasure was believed to be kept. Magnificent pillars rise from the base of the mountain, and above them are beautifully and delicately carved designs. A huge entrance leads into a chamber, but inside there are no decorations, just the natural beauty of the stone walls. The adventurer was astonished and decided to explore deeper into the cliffs. He may have been close to discovering a long-lost city. As he continued, he saw a theater large enough to seat nearly 6,000 people, also carved entirely out of stone. He followed a path that led to a massive temple-like structure, along with other ruins suggesting that a city once thrived here. Even on the mountain heights, several monuments were visible. Burckhardt had found the remains of a city that once held great importance in history. This 2,000-year-old city is now known as Petra. But how did people survive in such a dry desert without water? Why did they carve structures into the rocks? What was their purpose in settling here? And most importantly, why did they abandon it? The adventurer remembered a story he had heard about a tribe in the Arabian desert. This tribe was involved in trade between China, India, Egypt, and Rome, dealing in silk and spices. They used to hide their treasures by making holes high in the rocks. According to Greek and Roman sources, these people were called the Nabataeans. They were nomads, living in tents across the desert. But how did people who lived in tents manage to build such an extraordinary city like Petra? After Burckhardt's discovery, Petra began attracting global attention. Archaeologists and historians from all over the world came to study this ancient mystery. Carving a 127-foot structure out of solid rock is no ordinary task. Experts believe workers must have used temporary wooden structures to support themselves while carving, like scaffolding used in modern construction. But no clear marks of such scaffolding exist on the structures in Petra. After much research, experts discovered an incomplete structure in Petra, which gave a clue. It appeared that only the top part had been carved, while the lower rock was untouched. This suggests that the Nabataeans began carving their structures from the top and worked their way down. In the treasury, they would climb to the top of the rock, dig a horizontal shaft inside, stand inside that shaft, and begin carving the columns and designs. Slowly, they would work their way downward. As the upper parts were completed, the stone debris would build up below, forming a slope they could use to finish the lower parts. This top-down construction technique has not been found anywhere else in the world. Researchers only understood this method after they recreated a similar carved structure in the US. The Nabataeans left behind very little, writing just a few places with text in the Aramaic script, which was used in the Middle East during the time of Jesus. One inscription read that a certain tomb was sacred and that whatever was inside should never be removed or altered. But inside that chamber were only a few shelves, believed to be used for holding dead bodies. It was in fact a burial chamber. More than 800 such rocket tombs have been found in Petra. Initially, people thought Petra was just a massive graveyard, but later, evidence was found showing that people also lived here. Based on the size of the living areas, researchers estimate that during its peak, Petra had a population of about 20,000 to 30,000 people. But how did so many people survive in such a dry desert? One clue was found at the site called the Great Temple. Small holes were seen in the floor, and it was believed that water flowed underneath. When experts used ground-penetrating radar to scan the area, they found a network of channels beneath the temple floor, just like plumbing in modern buildings. This was strong evidence of an underground water system in Petra. But where did this water come from? One natural spring, called Ayn Musa, still supplies water and is located about 8 kilometers from Petra. The question was, how did the Nabataeans bring water from so far away? The answer lies in the narrow entrance to the treasury. Along the cliffs, marks of ancient pipelines were found. These were made of small sections joined together. Water flowing through such pipelines would normally leak, especially at the joints, but the Nabataeans had found a solution. Water flowing through a pipe creates air pockets that build pressure inside, which slows the flow and causes leaks. Today, hydro engineers have discovered that if a pipe is sloped at exactly 4 degrees, air pockets don't form, and the water flows smoothly without leaking. When experts measured the slope of Petra's pipe, they were amazed to find that the pipes were laid at exactly 4 degrees. This shows that the Nabataeans knew this engineering principle 2,000 years ago. Clearly, they were masters of water engineering. Petra didn't only rely on water from Ayn Musa, but also on flash floods that came down from the mountains. Even today, these flash floods can be deadly. To protect their city, the Nabataeans built dams at various locations. At least 5 ancient dams have been discovered, with some walls still preserved after 2,000 years. These dams not only stored water but also protected the city from flood destruction. So, we now know that the Nabataeans were skilled traders and engineers. They built a magnificent city out of rock and ensured a steady water supply in one of the driest regions on Earth. But the main question still remains. Why was Petra abandoned? Ancient records show that in the year 363 AD, a massive earthquake struck the region. Evidence of collapsed structures found in Petra points to this disaster. The earthquake likely destroyed many buildings and broke the dams. The same water that once gave life to the city now turned deadly and swept it away. With their infrastructure ruined and no water system left, traders changed routes, and the people of Petra gradually moved away to other places. Petra was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. And if you've ever seen the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the Holy Grail temple shown in the film is actually Petra. We hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you for all your support, and see you in the next amazing video.